Welcome in, ATB. Uh, some of the best content is before we get here. And I'm firing everything up, but I say stand by, and Scotty's like, I can't. So he wheeled himself over to the couch. It's like the fireside chats. Was it Roosevelt that did the fireside chats? Who did the fireside chats?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome.
Next to your Hanukkah bush / Christmas tree, because we're ecumenical. We're celebrating. Actually, this year, because I'm always pretty cognizant about talking about this when I do a thing for the company here every morning, and I always refer to remind the salespeople in our company, all the kids, 90 days out. So today is February 24th. If you're in a sales industry, you always want to be planning for 90 days out. So your actions today will be closing tables in real estate on the 24th, and we're doing that and having that conversation. And what blew me away was, now I lost my train of thought. That blew me away. It's been a long month this week. Can I say that? I'm sure I'll remember what I was going to talk about. And so insofar as dates are concerned, but let's say this: it's the ATB show, brought to you by our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks. I'm going to make a prediction. We're probably going to hang till about 6. At about 6:11, Juan Soto will get announced by the Red Sox.
No,
because that's what happened. Oh, you think it's blowing up?
No, he's not making a decision until the end of the week.
Oh, I thought you were going super negative on us all of a sudden, Rubber Shoes.
Oh, but I do not like that Toronto is rumored to drop a $60 million more offer on the table last minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Who wants to go to Canada, though? Do you want to go to Canada?
But that's the thing I'm thinking is the taxes. So maybe it's still going to be
the offshore betting is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the currency up there?
It changes, but it's
it's considered. They call it the Canadian dollar, but
Canadian dollar.
Yeah. But the exchange rate is
about the coin.
Right, but I just didn't know if it, England has the pound and whatever. So I just didn't know if it was I couldn't remember what the currency is, but I just feel like he'd be confused, and he wouldn't know what's happening. So
they happily take our money up there.
Yes, yeah,
I am sure they do.
4,000%. Yeah, that's
because it's worth more than theirs. So
yeah, so. Anyway, here we are. We got Rubber Shoes and Lowell. Almost squashed all of our dreams because I'm going to stick with you. Rubber Shoes. They're off camera, but Rubber Shoes was driving around. I got a text first thing this morning. Rubber Shoes in beautiful downtown Lowell, Scotty in beautiful downtown Maine. I'm here in the southern part of New Hampshire. Adam is in and out of hair and makeup. He's going to be skittish until his schedule gets a little more streamlined. And somewhere in South Kakalak is Corey, but he's not near a microphone, so he's not with us tonight. And when we had Little Shoes last week, and now he's back in hair and makeup. So you're stuck with the three of us tonight.
Because of the snow tonight, he wanted to get to the gym early.
Well, I appreciate that. Tell him to do 2 extra sit-ups for me. Yeah, Rubber Shoes text me first thing this morning. He's like, you going to be in your office at 9:30? I'm like, I'm in Portsmouth. So he swung by. I tested his QR code.
Yes, it works. Yep.
Well, it went to a different website for me, but you look great in those photos. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. Because I just did it to say that we were live. I scanned it so I could go right to the
I love that.
Page. His face, though, he's like in his mind, he's like, you know how many old people I gave these things to? They're going to be terrified.
His grandmother's like, Billy, what are you doing to that cat?
There's only been 5 made.
Only 5.
Us 3 here and Corey.
Who got one of 1? Who got one of 5? Who got that? Did you have them all enumerated? Are there numbers on the bottom?
Oh, they're all the same.
No, they're all the same. Appreciate
us 3, Adam and Corey, which I have to ship those out. But
have you filled yours tonight with Yule and Tide? What's in there? What are you doing? Is it a vodka tonic?
Tea. Iced tea.
Just iced tea. Such a good soul. Such a good soul.
I finished my Thanksgiving weekend. I finished all the alcohol in the house, and I am going clean and sober.
Terrible
for
idea.
What into January?
just maybe forever.
You're
I'll
gonna
pull
give it
out
a run.
Timmy.
It's even worse.
You're gonna
It's,
give it a
you know,
run.
I've done it in the past, and it's like I feel so, like you say, you feel
Mhm.
so much better. Like
Mhm.
even like I don't obsessively drink, but
Mhm.
even when I have a couple on a Sunday watching football, it's like when I wake up and go to the gym the next morning, I can tell the difference. Like when I've
Yeah.
had something plus whatever I eat, when I eat something bad, I feel it the next day at the
Sure.
gym, and I'm like, I'm done. So
Yeah.
I'm after Thanksgiving, that's it. I'm doing my best.
Scotty's tucked in a different age bracket, so I'm gonna foreshadow for you, Scotty, what Billy's talking about. I'll never forget when my dad talked about in his later years. My dad used to love like a greasy all-American breakfast, right? Like, you know, butter in your coffee, butter in your water, butter in your orange juice, butter on your bacon. And then he got back from Vietnam and he's like, I couldn't do grease anymore. I have realized if we're discussing food choices, anywhere in the 6:30 to 7 o'clock range, like that's the witching hour. My stomach after 7 o'clock is not going to respond, and not trying not to ruin anybody's dinner here. Not in a gross way, just in a feeling like you got hit by a truck way.
Yep.
Like I'm not doing a greasy anything after a certain hour. And to your point, I think older people, the hangover we experience is just being tired.
Yeah.
More so than anything. I saw a great meme. It was funny yesterday. I don't know if I texted you guys or not. I thought I threw it in the green room, but I may have not thrown it into the green room. The show thread. There's a great series. Great's a strong word. A remarkably good series on Amazon Prime Video, and it's all about the Madden series. It's a three-part docuseries on Madden. It is really well done.
I definitely watched that. No. Just throw that right in there and make as much noise as you can, Nate. He just, I know we can't hear it on the mic, but he just came up and just,
he's fine.
He click-a-clacked.
I'm glad you said that, Timmy, because I feel like we do throw the word great around way too much.
Yes. It's I'll give it a strong good.
Yes.
Worth a watch though.
Even a very good
watch. Absolutely, yeah.
I think our age bracket and the effect it had on our childhood and all that kind of stuff. It's really well done. And I'm chipping away at the show, and I got way out over my skis, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch episode 3. And I started 3, and Ginny gets so annoyed because she's right behind me. God bless my wife. She just celebrated 50 on Thanksgiving. Doesn't look a day over not 50. So but she's realizing the bridge between her 50 and my 53 is miles. So I know I've joked with you guys, like I'm in a 2-pillow formation while we're watching something, then I slide 1 pillow out. I go to like corpse in coffin mode. Like I sleep on my back and I'm straight back, 1 pillow kind of guy. So I slide 1 pillow out, the glasses come off and they go up on my bedside bureau. And she looks over, she's like, "You're leaving?" And I'm like, "No." And I because I'd gone into rest mode, but I hadn't, like when you put your PS5 and it glows yellow, like I'd gone into rest mode, but I was still watching the show. And then 4 seconds later, because I'm an active sleeper, always talking to myself, I must have pulled like a, and she looks over and she's like, "You're making noises. Like you just fell asleep. Shut it off. Shut it off." So I'm probably going to have to back it up a little bit, but I just started segment 3 of the series.
It's good. It's very good.
I forgot about game day for PlayStation. I forgot about NFL game day. I forgot about how bad Joe Montana football was.
Yeah.
All of those.
2K though, but 2K was legit.
2K was dope.
Care what anyone. 2K was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I had not realized the part of they had not gotten permission to do the $20 thing.
Yes.
Like that was the big reason why they, you know what I mean? I remember when it came out for $20, I was thrilled. I was like, this is amazing. And then the NFL was like, yeah, you're not doing that. You can't do that, you know? And, and that's kind of what killed the game. But 2K is amazing. Like it was so much fun. I remember game day. I do remember Joe Montana on the Genesis was terrible. It was just so, yeah, it was just bad.
And I love the kid on the team that his goal, he knew going into EA, his goal was we need names on the jerseys.
Yes.
We needed name, image, likeness to really make it feel like football. And the fact that he took a license and he just shipped the version with the names,
right,
and they fought about it after the fact.
Yeah.
And
he got suspended.
Probably changed the landscape of the whole series. It's just really well done. And the fact that Madden's son is involved. And when you think about the fact that that game is going to keep going, because even at, and now the funny thing now, when you think about the money that, and we've talked about this before, the money that video games make, like the three of us could all go and see, let's just pretend we're all going to go see Wicked. We're certainly not. But if we all went and saw Wicked, I mean, you might be dragging Ava to Wicked. I understand, Scotty. But Rubber Shoes and I probably aren't heading there. But if we all went and saw Wicked, and you do the attach rate of Swedish Fish and maybe a Amstel Light or a large Pepsi, you're going to get to wherever you get. But we would probably collectively spend only a little bit more than one game right now that is $70. And you think the fact that our generation now has our kids, Aiden's now at school. There's a whole nother version of Madden under my roof, but now obviously on his system in Illinois. But we have a system. I bought it for the PlayStation. I'm buying two versions of Madden now.
Right.
They're getting they're charging me for two lineups every fall. There's my point. Right? Because that's really all it is. It's really all it is. It's a lineup update.
Well, this year was different though. This year, I really felt this year's version.
The physics.
There was there was 4 years there, and legit, like 4 years ago was a solid game, and then I'd say 5 years ago was a solid game, and then it just stays stagnant, and people were, the community was loud, and that's something that they talk about a lot on the show, and complained a ton. And this year, especially with EA, with college football coming out, they had to update. They had to change. And this year is so much better, like so much better than any of the other versions that have been out for many years. So this is definitely a big improvement, for the game. But I would say by quite a bit.
Yeah, it's really cool. I fell asleep at the very start of 3. Oh, and I was making fun of myself because I saw a meme this morning. And it was Homer slumped over on the couch, and all it says is your dad really your dad if he doesn't fall asleep on the couch at 9 o'clock? And that's exactly what I nodded off last night. It was like 8:58. She goes, "You almost made it to 9 o'clock. Good night, Grandpa." Anyway, so they didn't. I haven't got to the part. Maybe they don't get to it. I can tell you one of my favorite football games ever was the one that came out for Xbox. Do you remember that? I don't remember what it was called. We'd have to look it up. Xbox had their own dedicated football game. And they were trying to compete with Sega with 2K. And the best part of 2K was 2K forced Madden to compete.
It did, yeah.
Madden got NFL licensing, and that's where it was like we're just getting roster updates, to your point, until this year where they really wrapped it up. But there was, I'll have to look it up. It was Peyton Manning was on the cover, I think. And it was right around launch. It was right around 2000, which I can't believe we're talking about 24 years ago, but we are having this conversation. It's horrifying.
It's absolutely insane. I'll have to look that up. I feel like I'm seeing the cover, and I know what you're kind of talking about, but I'd have to look it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. And also, I wasn't sure. I was just talking about Janina doesn't like to watch Hard Knocks, because she gets emotionally attached. She's like, I don't want to watch another team and then feel bad or good or attached to these people. Not so much that. She can't watch any competitive show. Like, she's not watching The Voice or American Idol where people get eliminated. It just makes her uncomfortable. She also would argue, and I agree with her, like Michael on The Office makes you uncomfortable. Like, that almost unwatchable. Like, he gets so awkward. You're like, I got to leave the room. I got to watch something else, or I'm going to pause this or go back to it. So that's sort of her feeling around that. And I really liked, not over the top. I just liked, Eberflus seemed really cool. So it was tough to watch the preseason Bears this year and then watch him get, let go. Although, for obvious reasons,
he earned it.
Oh, he fought for his Christmas off.
Yeah,
for
he
sure,
earned it.
For sure. But they're doing an in-season. I didn't think they were going to do an in-season. They just announced it. It's going to be the entirety of the AFC North.
Yep.
And it drops this week, I think, which is pretty cool.
It does. I think either tonight or last night or something like that. It's one of the two. It is this week though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm super looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And the
And
fact that
then-
they did all the teams like the Bengals, Ravens, Browns, and Steelers is dope. I think that's such a great idea.
Mid-December, there's a Netflix 3-part series on Aaron Rodgers.
I did see that December 13th or something like that,
17th,
right?
17th.
17th. Yeah, it's
Which is going to be
something.
interesting because obviously they've finished cutting it. I'd love if they were still working on it because just to factor in what's going on right now, although I'm sure it's going to be compartmentalized and he had probably executive producer over the top of it that he's going to make sure it paints him a certain way,
Yeah.
As polarizing as he is. I mean, I'm sure they're going to show everything, him going on his dark retreats and all that stuff. And
he's such a sensitive guy. It's
Smoking
funny,
broccoli.
like he tries to come off as like not sensitive. I feel like he's a super sensitive guy. Like he does care about like, what's his perception, and he definitely cares about. I feel like he cares about his legacy for sure. So which is getting absolutely destroyed right now. But
yeah, I mean we're
That's
bouncing
what
all
happens
over
when you
the
go to
place.
the
But
friggin'
I
Jets.
want to
What the
talk
hell's
about
wrong
that.
with
Like,
you?
what do you think it's going to be? What do you think his legacy is going to be? Is he going to Brett Favre himself and start bouncing around? Is he headed to the Vikings next? I mean, he's not, but you know what I mean. Like, is he going to start? Do you think he's under center in Jersey next year? You guys?
He's no. There's been a lot of reports that it's more likely than not that he's not going to be there. It's very, very unlikely that he'll be somewhere else, unless something crazy happens by the end of the season. But I could see him going to another team and trying at least one more time. As for his legacy, to answer that part of the question is, to me, it's funny. I said this months ago on the show, which is like it's one of those like unpopular opinions, and it's the fact that I think he's one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the history of football. I'm not, and I'm alone in that, and I know I am, and that's fine.
No, Michael Felger would agree with you 100%.
Oh, there you go. Oh God, something that me and Felger, I don't know if I like that.
Well,
actually,
there it is. It's the holidays.
I might have to change my opinion. Yeah, but the fact that he obviously not very good in the playoffs. If you look at his record, like he's great, great regular season quarterback, but when it comes to the postseason, you get like no, not so much.
Yep.
Not so much.
Yep.
So it's for him, he'll never be identified as the GOAT. He'll never be identified as a Mount Rushmore, in my opinion, type of quarterback either. He did win one Super Bowl, so that puts him like above Marino and some others. But the fact that he's doing, especially what he's doing right now, and everything that's gone down this year, absolutely takes him down a few pegs, to say the least.
Well, I'd argue with you on, this is where recency bias doesn't play a part at all. Maybe it's my affection to my childhood. I would argue with you that and mathematically, I'm sure the metrics are there, and I'm sure I'm wrong. I would hold Marino in a higher place in the hallways of the NFL than I would Aaron. Yeah. And simply, and I'm speaking for Ginny Lindsay on this one for sure, because she's so big on this, like the fact that Marino was a Dolphin. And that was in a different time and all that kind of stuff. But like, he just, I don't know.
You figure that the way they played in Aaron Rodgers' career versus how they played back in Marino's, they definitely passed the ball a lot more. Well, all time, Aaron Rodgers is 8th in passing yards. Dan Marino is 9th.
Really?
And he's 300 yards more than Marino right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Marino retired as the all-time passing leader, right? Yeah. He passed Fran Tarkenton, and then, but that he got blown away by Breeze and Brady and all those guys. You know what I mean? So it's
So
to Billy's point,
style,
different style, completely. Yeah.
So
Marino was doing stuff that no one had ever seen before.
So maybe Belichick takes the Jaguars job to get Shula's record, and then he hires Marino out of retirement just to sit in front of Aaron Rodgers. I'd love it.
Yeah,
I'd love it.
I don't see that happening.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yep.
I know we started with a little bit of football. I do want to get back because I need my. Go ahead. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to touch on the good, great, and you rolled into a series.
Yes.
Scotty's probably watched this. I don't know if Timmy would be interested in this, but The Penguin was borderline great, that series.
I think I have a
behind.
couple
I have not
episodes
got that
left.
yet.
Oh,
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't had time. I've had so much going on. I have not had time.
I completely appreciate you haven't. I'm stunned that. I guess I'm stunned that you haven't. I feel like I could see you calling Liberty Mutual and being like, "Listen, I'm going on sabbatical. I've got a superhero thing to watch." And I think the reason it works for me, I was initially intrigued at Colin Farrell being in underneath that much.
He's amazing.
Is unbelievable. The walk makes me hurt. I also appreciate it because my left hip has been a mess, as you guys know. Can't rotate through the drive. They made it a gangster series. Not to ruin anything for you at all, Scotty. I think you probably knew that from social media and stuff, but it's such a unique spin, and it's really well done, and the cinematography is good. Everything's rainy and dirty, and he just I see Colin, I'm just like, I just go take a fucking bath. Like he just incessantly looks gross. But it plays into it. And then the way they skated back to explain his childhood, it's really, really well done. I think I'm on episode last. I just haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, I definitely have to check it out. It's funny, when I got hurt, I was like, oh, I'll be able to catch up on a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I had a bunch of stuff to catch up on, that's on the list. But I haven't caught up on everything else that I've been trying to get through. So there's like a lot of movies that I've just haven't had a chance to watch and stuff too. So I watch way too many like kids movies and stuff, which is unfortunate.
I go in, my senility is being served by the fact that my newest TCL TV, I finally jumped the shark and I left TCL for all the TCLs, the two in my office, everyone that we have at home. The one that Rubber Shoes broke his hand on installing for my mom at Bentley Lane. Those are all Rokus. The new one we just put in the bedroom at our house is a Google, which is cool because it's sort of the homepage works as everything that you're currently watching.
Yeah, we have that right here.
Yeah, there's just that line at the bottom. So I'm like, oh yeah, I got to go back and watch Hard Knocks. I'm on episode 38 of The Penguin. It's great. And what I do, because I'm so senile, I know I've said that 15 times, I'm waiting for AARP to up the money. So I'll go in and be like, I want to watch this show. And I go in and just start it to put it in my queue. Like I'll go in and start episode 1 and then I just stop it. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm just like, and like another show just hit, something just came. What did they just announce? And I turned to Janina. She goes, oh my God, another story. Like another story. Like she just checks out because it's not like she's got, it's an alliteration of B's. It's boobs, bullets, bombs, blood, booze, boobs. Did I say boobs already? Boobs. I said boobs 4 times now. Yeah. That's like sort of the categories that all my shows hit. There's a lot of swearing, all that kind of stuff. But
perfect.
Yes, Penguin. Scotty, I'm shocked.
I will check it out. I will check it out.
You'll like it. It's good. It's really well done. And the way
have you seen the clips of him speaking in his real voice while wearing the suit after the fact?
I did. I don't know if Scotty's seen that. So they're closing the set. They're finishing the final episode, and on the set, and he's thanking everybody. And he's there dressed as Penguin, wearing all the prosthetics of Penguin, and the Irish brogue is alive and well. And he's like, just want to thank everybody for being so great, so gracious and taking care of me. Like what is happening?
Especially,
right now?
So I didn't see it until after I've watched the whole series. So when you watch it and you get so into it and you're so used to him talking as the Penguin, and then oh my God, it's hilarious.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, he's if he's not marching around at the Golden Globes and the Emmys, it's a crime against humanity. Crime against humanity.
Oh yeah.
So, and obviously they've teed it up to continue. It's a great move by HBO with that series.
It's gonna be going into the next Batman movie.
Oh, interesting. All right.
The Batman.
Robert Pattinson Batman. Yeah. Not
Oh,
the
okay.
James Gunn, because that's a different, separate universe than the Batman thing.
Now
So.
you lost me. Now I'm out. Now I'm out. Now I'm back on Madden episode 3. Anyway, because you care, and I don't, but I did it in honor of Christmas and the LeBron Cup. I need you to explain to me that I'm watching the thread of the show last night, and Rubber Shoes and Adam are talking about, well, if Detroit wins by 37, then Bob Cousy comes back and he'll play in Game 6. Like, what in the
That's
barrel
another
of
thing that's
fuck
so
are we
stupid
doing
about it
with this NBA Cup? What is happening in America? And I know you guys enjoy it because you're fiends for basketball. Why do you enjoy it?
I don't care one iota about this.
Make me love
thing.
this, Scotty. Make me love it.
It's hard because you said
no, it's not. Oh, sorry.
Well, because it's go watch some more boobs. And so
yes.
It's what the difficult thing is you said, America. This is not based on American sports, really. It's based on like the different cups that they have over in the Euro soccer leagues, right? And point differential within the games matters, and when it comes to like tiebreakers and things like that. So basically that's all it is. So they did, I don't remember the team. I don't think was it the Pistons? I didn't think it was the Pistons. It was like the I don't know. I have to look it back up. I'm pretty sure the Celtics aren't in the cup though. They didn't. They had to.
Correct. They didn't make it.
Yeah, and because they went 3-1 in the competition, but because of the point differential, they got knocked out. Long story short,
made it.
Yeah, the Magic. Thank you. And so it is what it is. I mean, I'll say this, like the fact that like some guys, I don't know what the prize is, like 250 or 500 grand or something like that to each player. Like that's obviously a lot of money. So I could see some of the younger players.
Is the Lake Show still in it?
But
nope.
No, I don't think so.
So
they lost.
The Western teams, it looks like probably close to the Final Four of the Western Conference is going to be. It's the Thunder, the Mavericks, the Rockets, and the Warriors. They're probably, other than Denver not being in it, that's probably going to be 4 of the 5 top teams out west. But in the East, you have the Bucks, the Magic, the Knicks, and the Hawks. So the Cavaliers aren't in it. The Celtics aren't in it. They're probably going to be 2 of the top seeds in the East come playoff time. So the Hawks are in there.
So
Hawks made it.
I appreciate Scotty's intel because it's making so tell me if I'm wrong here, and I'm sure there's a piece of what I'm about to say that's sort of right. Is this an attempt to broaden the interest globally? And
no.
It was almost a rhetorical question because I think our U.S. brand of NBA basketball is already adopted globally. I don't think that we need to put this product together and call it the NBA Cup to get, Madrid to watch necessarily.
No, their direct reasoning of introducing the NBA Cup was which I don't think it really worked, was to get players to play more games.
To eliminate load management and
worked really
not eliminate, but limit.
Right. They wanted players to care about regular season games more and want to play in these games,
especially at the beginning of the year.
I think one of a lot of the games is like there was games where your number one guy sat out, and it wasn't because he was injured, it was because it was a rest day, and that's it. So that just proves right there that the players really don't count. The money for the elite guys, it doesn't matter. They feel like the Cornets, like that'd be nice to be able to get Cornet and Hauser that extra money, but Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they don't need that money.
Actually, and Cornet and Hauser don't either. They got their bags this past offseason, so
true.
They got a decent little payday.
All of the Celtics, maybe
the Celtics are a unique team
maybe.
Because their main core has been paid, and they're going to be paid. They're going to be with us for the next couple seasons, right? But there's other teams, which is why, we were watching the Netflix documentary about the starting 5, and LeBron was on there. And LeBron was talking about some of the kids, and there were younger players that were on the Lakers team last year that weren't making a lot of money. Well, NBA standards.
Sure.
And so that money made a huge difference.
Sure.
So that's kind of like the part there. For other teams like the Cavs or the Celtics, or teams that didn't make it, like the Nuggets and stuff, there's a lot of players that aren't really that worried about it. And I understand what they're trying to do, and they're trying to tweak so many little things. The NBA are. They came out with this ridiculous thing about the All-Star game. I don't know if you guys heard about this, that they want to make it into a basically a mini tournament instead of an actual game, where you have basically, like, I think 4 squads or something like that basically play each other, and then the teams that win, it's like score to like 30 or something, or 40, and whoever wins to play each other in like the finals basically during the All-Star game.
That's what the NHL does.
Yeah, to me that's look, the problem is with the NBA All-Star game, and why nobody watches it anymore, is because of the players. The players have ruined it. It's not the league, and I feel bad for the league because they're trying anything, because the players won't listen, because, well, the league is also somewhat responsible, because the league has given the players, LeBron especially, so much power. And so the fact that the players have ruined the All-Star game used to be a lot of fun. Like, it used to be great to watch back in the 90s and stuff, and even in the 2000s. You know what I mean? Like, it was a lot of fun back in the day to watch the All-Star game. I really enjoyed it because it was an actual basketball game. Now it's like they barely run up and down the court. When they do, it's just they're doing high flying. You know what I mean? They're trying to score 200 points a game. It's just
they're all friends now,
right? Yeah, it just
doesn't. All-Star Weekend is like, okay, who's gonna come play with me next year? Right. It's like that's all they're doing it. So you brought up my favorite subject, Scotty, LeBron. So
Leon,
do you think he may have fell off the Max Kellerman cliff? He's been horrible the last 2 weeks.
He's been bad. Well, I think the whole team did. I mean, they haven't been very good. They started off super hot, like 7-1 or something ridiculous, and I think they're 11-7 now, or something like that, or 11-8.
Same record that they had with Ham last year.
Is it time to call Bronny back up from the G League? No. Is it time?
No, it's not.
I feel bad. I feel bad for that kid.
It's not. It's definitely not.
It's definitely
no.
Still not time.
I agree with Billy a little bit. I do kind of feel bad for him because he's in a really tough position.
I mean, he's gonna have money for the rest of his life. So money wise, he's not. But his dad didn't put him in the best situation.
It really, it's a tough situation for sure. But I don't think the league
play for him. That's all. That's
all.
That's what
LeBron did it so he could be the first person to play with his son in the NBA. That's the only reason why he did it.
It was.
Which, a part of me being a dad, I think that's super cool. The other part of me knowing like that, how it feeds his ego, I'm like, you're kind of a dick, and what he's doing to his kid and stuff like that is just, he could have had his son play in the league, stay at USC, learn, develop, and get drafted legitimately, and and still have the fact that maybe LeBron will play another year or two, and then he comes in the league after his sophomore, junior year. But the fact that it kind of got forced upon everybody is really what kind of screwed Bronny over, and it is what it is. But it's the whole NBA right now. We're trying to get players to really force them to play. They're struggling with that. They're struggling with ideas for, the All-Star. They're struggling with a lot of stuff, mostly because, the players just have so much power right now. It's
they tried to, to make it, you had to play a certain percentage of games to be able to be up for the MVP. So that, but even
or any award.
Yeah.
Any award. You got there's tons of players. I think Embiid's already out. You have to, if you miss more than, I think it's 18 games in a season, you're no longer eligible for any awards. And so Embiid, I think is either on the cusp or he's already out. Kawhi's obviously out. There's a whole bunch of players that, because they missed time.
Yep.
But it is what it is.
What are we, 17-4 now? Is that where we're at? Celtics?
I believe so. I have to double check.
Something like that. So holding strong, which is good.
Oh God, yeah, they're fine. They're doing fine.
I
will say, it's funny.
17-4.
17-4. And I will say it's funny though, because I remember was it like last year, beginning of last year? I remember, Bill, you hated Cornette. You were not a Cornette guy. Was that you or Adam? I feel like it was you. I felt like it was you, but like, I think we've all fallen in love with him.
It's back when he was
so
drinking. It's back when he was drinking.
I don't know that I hated him, but I
So 2 weeks ago.
I was worried that he wasn't going to be able to be the person we needed him to be as backing up Porzingis and Horford, and he definitely proved me wrong. And I appreciate him. He is one of the smartest players I've ever watched. He knows positioning.
Is he good or great?
No, he's okay.
He's
good. That's going to be the title of the episode. Is this good or great?
Good or great?
Or neither.
You're doing my work for me. It's amazing. It's amazing. He'll punch that up before you walk out the door.
That is it. Like what the step that Peyton Pritchard has made is just unreal.
He needed time and he needed minutes, man. I've been saying it for the last like 2 seasons almost. Like when he's on the floor, he's such a dog, man. He just plays hard. He's also a talk about an intelligent player. You know, he's really, really smart player, and he's got balls the size of basketballs, man. Like huge, he has no fear. And I will say though,
he's got short man syndrome, and it's working for us, right? I mean, it really does. Yeah, it really does. And
I really think his time this past year plus now with Drew Holiday has got to be a huge reason his interior close shot game has just taken off, because Holiday's so good around the rim for being a small, relatively small guard, and Pritchard's even shorter than him. But if you look when he's he's no fear, and he has great moves down there and great touch. So I think that's been a huge benefit for him. So happy they retained him and brought him back and gave him his money.
They said,
I love how you say short man syndrome. He's the same height as me.
Buddy, we're talking to the freaking like the NBA though. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like,
I'm 5'9". If I wasn't doing real estate, I'd be in a tree making cookies. Are you fucking kidding me right now? But in the grand scheme of things, I think the story came out last year, so, and I'm sure he did it this offseason too. In the offseason, he flies his friends in who aren't around to hang out and like spend a week and work out with him, and then just like punch him in the face. Like they play jailhouse basketball in the off season, like rough me up, hard foul me, jab me with a wooden spoon in the neck. Like he has them beating up on him. So when he goes into the NBA and there's actually somebody with stripes and a whistle, and he's not necessarily getting assaulted, he's ready for that.
How soft the league is now too. So
I mean, I think that's had a huge effect on him too. I love the fact, the fact that when there's 4.2 seconds left, he's on the floor, he's gonna get the inbound, he's gonna shoot it, and like I don't even feel like they're challenging him. I don't know. It's the last couple of times I've seen him take that important shot, he's rung it. And I don't even feel like they're. I don't know what the decision.
Hand up.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Interesting. All right, so let's discuss the Red Sox. Let's discuss Juan Soto. Are you convinced he's coming here still? Rubber shoes. You think it's going to be Toronto?
No. I think
he stays in New York.
They have a real good chance. I actually feel like it's not we just missed, because now he's singled it down to 5 teams that the reports are they've all bid at least $600 million for him. So they're putting the money up to try. Okay. They signed Chapman. That's $10 million for 1 year. That was a decent sign. And there is like I'm trying. My wife's like, I feel so bad for you. Like you're getting your hopes up so high, and they're probably not going to do anything. Is that they're rumored to, once the Soto thing's done, to actually go and make a push to trade for the ace from the Chicago White Sox, Crochet, who is probably one of the top pitchers out there available.
Okay.
So they're not ruining my winter right now. But
there's still a chance they could ruin.
They still could, but
I feel like. But be honest. Tell me, do you have a Juan Soto Red Sox shirt in the cart on Models.com, and you're waiting to push play?
Nope, I'm not. Not well. So this is my new rule. Okay.
If he
I
if he
will
gets
not.
here, he wears 22. So I'm gonna love him twice because that's my number.
I
That's my
don't
jam.
buy jerseys. Like I might get a shirt, but I will not. The only jerseys I buy are for retired players
numbers. Oh, okay.
or
All right.
or if they won a championship for the team. So I bought a Jaylen Brown jersey this summer because he
Okay.
won the championship on the Celtics. So you
Okay.
can keep that jersey forever now, even if he leaves and goes somewhere else next year.
How many Lakers jerseys do you have?
I have 0.
Really? You sold them all? You own
I don't know
Lakers
if
jerseys.
back in the day. So I feel I did have one Kobe jersey,
That's different.
but
That's different.
that's it. Never had a Shaq one. I wasn't a big jersey guy until probably the last 10 years, maybe.
All right.
I'd like to see them.
I mean-
I would like to see them if they are able to get Soto. Even if they make a deal for Crochet, go get Corbin Burns or someone like that. Like
So they're rumored to be in on him also.
There you go. Because that's, I mean,
So-
it's if they get Soto, fantastic, but it can't stop there, right? We all agreed that the Chapman is a decent signing. He still throws the pill really well. He's got control issues, but whatever. I know he walks some people, but so did friggin' what's his nuts that quit on us last year in the last Jansen. But so for me, I think you go if you can get Crochet, but you also got to get another starter like that, another top line starter like a Burns or a Corbin Burns or whatever. So that would be, to me, that would be a huge, make a massive offseason.
I feel like the ownership realized that. So the Yankee that the Major League Baseball, American League. Jesus, I couldn't think of it.
It's okay.
So the American League is not that good. You figured that the Red Sox just barely were out of the wild card spot.
And we were
the
terrible.
Yankees were not that good. They were in the World Series and they weren't that good. They had a decent lineup, their top 3-4 batters, but that was it. They had no real good pitching. Garrett Cole played better in the playoffs, but other than that, they didn't have a team that you looked at and like, oh yeah, they're going to the World Series. They went there because the rest of the American League wasn't that good, and they're really not that good. If they lose Soto, and so I think the Red Sox see if they take Soto away from them and they add some pitching with their young guys coming up another year, they're right there. They're one of the best teams in the American League.
And to me, I think that's where, like, if the Red Sox are putting up the money, not just obviously joking about the Canada thing with Toronto and stuff, but if you're looking, if I'm Soto and I'm looking around, the Sox have enough, not only just talent, but young talent, I mean, coming up and that, you know what I mean? And it's, I don't know. To me, it's obviously, I'm obviously a homer and bias or whatever, but it's a no brainer for him to come here and comparatively to some of the other teams that are being bid.
I don't know if they're boys, but I think they're acquaintances is Devers and Soto. I think they're pretty friendly with each other, so that could help.
Wasn't that part of the pitch?
Poppy's all over this, isn't he?
I was to say that was a part of the pitch, was the Dominican Republic connection and stuff. And,
yeah,
excuse me, that was a part of like what they were trying to say.
New York's the Italian connection. Not come here. We got Pedro. We got Ortiz, Devers.
Yeah, God willing. Well,
Manny will come back and say hi. Well, I think he's.
So you think it's this? You think it's this week? Because that's what seems to be
what
all
I've
over
read
ESPN
what I read
this
this
week.
morning, because the winter meeting started, and what I read this morning is that Boris and Soto will have a decision by the end of the week. Because they're not. That's it. They've taken in all the offers, so it's just basically
do the math.
Do you want to go for more money? Do you want they're all. So I think the lowest was 600, the highest was 660. So the Red Sox are in what I had read before Toronto dropped that Red Sox had the lead. I think they were like 6:30. So,
And, quite honestly, if he stays with the Yankees, this is sort of like when you work at a company and you've got your bachelor's and you go to night school to get your graduate. You go to get your master's, and then you march back into that same company with your master's, and then like you're still that guy. They don't really respect the fact, unless he jumps out on Indeed. My point is, he can be a star in New York or the star in Boston.
That's what I was just going to say. He doesn't seem like the guy that likes to be second fiddle. Like he stays in New York. He's not overtaking Judge. Judge is the guy as long as he's in pinstripes.
I would argue even Giancarlo is a big deal. I would argue that
he comes to Boston. He's the guy.
The kid that just grabbed last year at the trade deadline. Help me. Oh my God. How am I not remembering who it is?
Jazz Chisholm.
Thank you, Chisholm. Yeah, I mean that. He's young, but he's also a big name. Yeah. He's not gonna get worse for the Yankees. He's gonna be a pain in our ass for the next 7 years.
He would be the guy here, because Devers doesn't want the spotlight.
Yeah, Yep. Yeah, love
so
it.
That's
this could be delicious.
Now you got me all excited for Christmas.
You should be excited. He's number 22. He's coming to Boston. It's all good. We'll have Doug Flutie Day at Fenway. It'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. The people will love it.
Yeah. Steph's like, you're not getting sucked in, are you? I'm like, I kind of am.
He's getting sucked in. We just sucked you back in. I love it.
Yeah.
Are the Bruins fixed? You think the Bruins are fixed?
They're better. And it's the crazy thing. I looked last night.
Are they greater or are they gooder?
I think they're on the way there. They shored up the defense and they stopped turning the puck over the way they were. They just got to figure out how to score again. That's their problem. They're getting opportunities and they just
struggle bus.
Pasternak looks like he's lost out there right now. He's over handling the puck instead of shooting. He's trying to make passes that he shouldn't be trying to make through players, and that's what he looks horrible. He needs to find himself again.
Well, do you think we're going to find out? Do you think we're going to find out in June that he had an upper body injury that they didn't?
I don't think he's hurt. Upper body right here.
Yeah, between the ears, the 5.5 inches between the ears.
That's where it is right now.
All right.
So I knew that at Thanksgiving they won the day before. That put them in the last wild card spot. Right now they're third in the the Atlantic Division.
Yeah.
They're not many points out of first place. It's crazy. The hockey is horrible this year for some reason.
Yep.
And they play Chicago tonight, who's the worst team in the league.
Oh, beautiful. Are we home or on the road? We're back on the road.
In Chicago. They went from Boston last night to Chicago tonight.
Yeah, crazy.
To play up against the Celtics.
I love that for you. Perfect. Speaking of Chicago, Bubba reached out to us. He and the boys are going to the Big Ten Championship. Awkward transition to college football before we get to the Patriots. So they're going to that in Indy.
Can you let him appreciate the win on Saturday before you shove that in his face?
Well, what's happening?
I'm not sure. Big Ten Championship. Be like,
honestly,
listen.
You don't
pushing Michigan aside like that.
I don't care.
I'm
don't
not
care.
It aside.
I don't care about the Big Ten
it.
Championship right now. We weren't going to go. We had no chance, and I'm okay with that. To me,
but
is it Oregon Penn State? Is that what it is?
Yes,
it's Oregon Penn State. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one cares.
And Saturday I went to a baseball cards show, and then on the way back stopped at my brother's house right around when the Notre Dame game was supposed to kick off at 3:30. So I was there about 3. So I got to see the last probably 10 minutes of the Michigan Ohio State game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was we were loving it. Everyone in the house was loving it.
Amazing. It was amazing. I loved it.
From a mathematical standpoint, is he not? Is he 90 something and 6? Like he's got some ridiculous record, doesn't he? What is his record?
The of Ohio State.
Yeah, what's Ryan? Ryan.
But
Day's
he's
got
lost.
He's lost every game
Yeah.
against Michigan except for I think he actually won this first one. I think he won, but he's
Yeah, he's
one
lost
and
four in a
1-4.
row.
1-4. Okay.
Yeah, 1-4 against them. I want to say it's 1-4.
Yes.
The seniors though, like those kids had never beat Michigan.
Never beat them. Yep.
Nope, never beat Michigan. And this was the year. I mean, they were massive favorites.
Yep.
Massive. And they should have been. They spent $20 million in NIL to basically get them here.
Yep.
Or to there or whatever. To
I
Ohio
love
State.
it.
And Michigan had lost so much talent.
Yeah.
Because Michigan over the last 3 or 4 years were building that squad that ended up going to the national championship and winning last year, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's basically gone from those teams.
Sure.
So with that, it's like, all right, now you guys have Ohio State, they're supposed to win and blah blah blah. But
Sure.
the fact that they just peed down their pants at home, wasn't even in Michigan.
Yeah.
At home is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And honestly, the fact that Ryan Day still has a job is, to your point, Tim, he's beaten everyone else. He's beaten a lot of other decent teams, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no, not really. I mean, he's decent. See, I've said this before. Ohio State, to me, they always have a marshmallow schedule. They don't play. Like Michigan plays like legit teams. Notre Dame, I would actually say, usually puts themselves in a more difficult position. BC has a more difficult schedule, I feel like, than Ohio State puts them. Ohio State doesn't play a legit team until they start playing against the Big Ten. It's a fact.
Yeah.
Every year. They don't play anybody outside of the conference that has anything to do with anything. They're over there playing Pepperdine, whatever. You know what I mean? Like they're not.
Listen, those kids are rich and smart.
But yeah. You know what I mean? Like, all right, let's play Appalachian State. Oh, God, I don't want to bring that up. But anyway, so, yeah, so to me, it's pretty spectacular. Not Dave Portnoy, where it's like the rivalry's over. Shut up, Dave. That's some bull, because that's not true. We all know that's not true. And on top of that, we all know that
I love him.
Ohio State was beating us relatively quite a bit. They beat us like 3 or 4. I think it was like 5 out of 6 or something like that against when Harbaugh was here. So we had a tough run before this last 4 years. So yeah, anyway, it's wonderful. Very happy.
Michigan
made my Thanksgiving.
They got the turnover and they're on like the 5-yard line, and the guy was wide open in the end zone. And he threw the pick. I'm like, I thought that was it. I thought the opportunity was lost. I'm like, Tyler goes, I could have threw that pass to that guy. He was so wide open. It was like, he just had to get it over that linebacker's head, and he didn't.
He never saw him. Yeah, he never saw him. He threw it, and I was like, so it was funny. We were on our way to the Polar Express because we were heading up to Portland, because we do that every year. And I'm in the front seat because I'm not driving.
I love that you went up with. I love that you were full PJs. We did that when we did it with the boys.
Yep.
But just you and the cast and the crutches in the PJs.
Oh yeah, and so I'm dialed in. I got the Hulu app going on the phone or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, chatting me up in like the driver's side, and I'm like, and then I'm over there. I'm like, yes, like oh man, I was all worked out.
Yep.
I was so happy. So happy.
Yeah, it was good. It was awesome. Very good. Yeah. I was going to read to you real quick because Rubber Shoes had reached out because he knows he's got a connection at Boston College and he was trying to secure his seats. I'll tell you 2025 for us, just to give you an example. And again, and here's the thing. Let me say this out loud for like generations to come at Chestnut Hill University. We're never going to compete for a national title. Like that's just a thing. That's just a thing. We're never going to have the NIL money in this new marketplace. We're going to do our best, but we're never going to the fact that you have Portnoy and that girl that he said there's a whole thing on social media about Portnoy talking to, she's a Michigan alum, and she called him and said, we got to figure this out. And they put together the $12.5 million to get your new quarterback that's coming in. Is he a quarterback that's coming in for you?
Yes.
Scotty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like we're not that school. That's not us. Above and beyond that is when we have 2 game 12s. So we have a game 11 and a game 12 that we should have picked one of these. And what I'd like to do moving forward is just make it solid state. Our game 12, our, out of conference, local, rivalry game should just be Holy Cross. And that should be baked in. We should play Holy Cross. That should be our game. Like everybody else, like UMass went and played Georgia. God bless them. At Georgia, right? It should be Holy Cross. Next year, BC will host Cal. We will host Clemson. We will host Georgia Tech. We will host SMU. We will be heading to Louisville, heading to Pitt, heading to Stanford. That's where Janina wants to go for the road trip. And Syracuse. We've been there. We drove out years ago. We drove out the year of 9/11. 2001, we drove out, flew back. We got back to Logan the day before the attacks. Then we have out-of-conference games next year with Fordham, UMass, at Michigan State, and then the other Irish Catholic schools coming to visit. So we shouldn't have Fordham and UMass. That's the problem. And I need Bill O'Brien. Hi, Bill. I need Bill O'Brien to go into whoever's next as president. I think we named who it's going to be, but Father Leahy is stepping down at Boston College. Not that he necessarily is affecting all this, but we have to call some of these schools and be like, yeah, we were joking. We have to clean up our schedule. We have to have a menu that puts us near the conversation. Then we have to build a football team that wins that menu and then fight our way in to, a 14-game playoff. I'm hoping for a 14-team playoff, or you have to go to 16.
All you got to do is win the ACC, and you're in.
I'm aware. I'm just saying our schedule does not serve us well. That's not the strength of schedule when you chop yourself off at the knees every year before August 15th because your schedule is ridiculous. We gotta stop that. Because we love to do it. We're going to have probably, I could look through all the schedules, but I'm not going to bore the rest of the internet. We probably have a year that we got Rhode Island and UMass. And then we probably have a year that we have UMaine and, Detroit University School for the Blind. Like, what are we doing? We've got to put together better out of conference. So the funny thing is we do have Ohio State. That got slid. It was supposed to be in a couple of years. Our home and home with Ohio State's 2035, 2036.
Jesus Christ.
And according to last week, they're not even a good team anymore. So let's get them off our schedule for Christ's sakes. But anyway. So yeah, we have, we pulled off Pitt, which I wasn't sure where we'd be, but Pitt, thank God we figured that out. Everything's aiming for the Military Bowl. Janina wants to go because it's in Annapolis. Saturday, December 28th at 5:45. I don't want to be sitting in Annapolis. We've been to Annapolis. It was we went to Annapolis years ago for a BC road game, and they sent a stealth bomber over the top of the stadium, and the wings were, if you were in the back row, you could reach up and touch the wings. I'd love to go, but not on Saturday, December 28th at 5:45 at night. I do not want to go. Not really what I want to do. Scotty, where are you guys headed for a bowl game? What do you think you're aiming for?
I was on mute.
That's okay.
I don't know. I have no idea, actually. We haven't. Right now we're like, we'll probably be at the Depends Bowl because Ryan Day peed his pants or something like that. But we don't. Honestly, I don't think from a Michigan fan perspective, don't care. Just don't care.
Yeah.
We won, and that is the only thing that matters.
Well, what I love for you is like your I don't give a shit bowl is going to be like the Citrus Bowl. It's going to be like a legit bowl in warm weather.
I don't know. I doubt
I think you will be. I think you will be. Yeah. You know what I'm gunning for you? It's actually, I think it's our coolest, not real cool bowl in the ACC is the Pop-Tart Bowl. As a fat kid from the University of Chestnut Hill, I would love to see our kids get to the Pop-Tart Bowl. The first annual Pop-Tart Bowl was last year, and they rolled a toaster out after the game, and the winning team got a huge 6x4 Pop-Tart slid down, and they all get to break it apart and eat it. Ridiculous, but I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that happen. A big maroon and gold Pop-Tart shoots out of the toaster. That'd make my day. Rubber Shoes, you don't know necessarily where you landed yet, but you will be inside the 12.
So it looks like they are going to be hosting a first round game in South Bend.
Oh.
They're ranked 5th right now. Oregon and Penn State have to play each other. One of them has to lose. So if Penn State loses, they'll drop behind. So it's looking that, like, right now it sits. It's the way they have the brackets right now, that they think it will be Alabama at South Bend.
Wow. Would you drive out to the Dome for that?
No.
Is it because did you investigate what it would look like? I mean, I have to imagine any of these 12 games are going to be cost prohibitive.
Oh, yeah.
Just obnoxious. Obnoxious. A home playoff game. That sentence has never been formed in college football. A home playoff game at South Bend is going to be, what, $5,000 to be in the parking lot?
Yeah, at least.
Bamba Lamba coming to South Bend. Oh, I love that.
I just hope,
and I love
it's
you,
not,
I'll be rooting for Bamba Lamba. Anyway,
I hope it's not
that.
December 28th.
Oh, no. Well, no, you guys. Well, yeah, that's right. These are first round playoff games.
Yeah.
Doesn't it start the 20th?
I'm DJing December 28th. So
DJ Fiddlesticks. Oh my
but
God.
it is. So I'm DJing at the Old Court. So it's an Irish bar. So it's
for God's sake,
be fitting.
Oh, and you're going to be sober. God help us. All right.
Yep.
Speaking of sobering terms or sobering discussions, love watching them make minor improvements. When I say them, I'm talking about one person, like Drake May, when he has flashes of greatness, when he looks gooder, as opposed to great. Rubber Shoes and I were texting, and I know this is going to make Scotty's ears bleed, but like, hey, they stayed in the game, but we lost. Excellent. Like I'm so unengaged with us winning anything at this point. I just want to get to the end of the season. I want to see if Ryan Day and Mayo are both going to be looking for a job. I don't think so. I think Mayo keeps his job clearly. But like, how are you feeling, Scotty? Because you were the one that had us going 35-0, I think. So now that we're into the meat of the schedule,
I think I was pretty good. It was like 10-7 or 11.
Well, all right. Anyway,
I think that's been eliminated.
Yeah.
It's we're one of the 4 teams.
Scotty's math isn't mathing, and that's what he does for Liberty Mutual. He's a math guy. He's a numbers guy. Numbers aren't working. Talk to me. Where are you at?
So, with them, it's I'm in the same boat as you, where it's exciting to watch May develop on the fly. And he's making some ridiculous plays that shows that he's going to be legit for quite a while. And they made the right pick. I was against it at first. I eat every single one of those words. Love watching him play. And I did say, though, when they drafted, he was going to be my guy, and he's definitely my guy, and I will say it's been really disappointing to see how bad the coaching staff is, and the lack of adjustments, the lack of just everything at this point. They're just not following through with a lot of stuff, and they need to make adjustments. They need to learn. It's kind of sad, to be honest with you, because you would think professional football coaches would know how to make adjustments, especially on the defensive side of the football. But so far it hasn't been great. And they've been super frustrating in regards to, especially the defense, the top 10 defense last year. And this year it's not going very well. Not going very well at all. I got to go on mute for a second. I got to help myself with something. Give me 1 second.
Not a problem.
I am rooting for one thing for the Patriots, and that is so right now, Drake May is the top rush yards per carry quarterback ever. He's ahead of Michael Vick by almost 2 yards per carry right now.
That's crazy.
I just want him to stay with that and finish off the year as the number 1 rush per carry quarterback in the NFL.
That's crazy. I know we're not making Pat's predictions this weekend because they're on a bye, which is
they might lose though.
Why does this feel like bye 2? Is this
No,
our second?
it's-
Like
This is nope. This is it. This is
this is it. I don't know.
Yep.
I feel like we had a bye week. I'm like, is this a second bye
been a
week?
long
And
season so
the
far.
reason I'm asking, BC had 2 bye weeks. We had
Yeah,
2 bye
I
weeks.
think some
really
colleges
strange.
did.
Yeah, we had 2 bye weeks.
Especially if
all
you
right.
play week 0, I think you end up getting 2 bye weeks.
Yeah, we didn't do that. We opened with Florida State, right? Yeah, we opened with Florida State, which was Labor Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
When we thought we were good. It was a good time. It was a good night. A fleeting moment. The paper tiger that was Florida State.
That's one thing Scotty could be happy about, is that Michigan didn't end up like Florida State this year. Like,
Not at all.
totally fall off the
Not
edge
at
of
all.
the earth.
Not at all.
Holy
And
mackerel.
their NIL kid
And
coming
they
in
and
is
they
gonna be
thought they
ridiculous.
had they went and spent nil money on a quarterback, and he was horrible.
Yeah, didn't they bring over, I can't say his name now.
Yeah.
Oyogilele? I
Yeah.
can't say his
Yep.
name for the life of me. I feel like I'm going to
He's
sprain
awful.
a tonsil if I try to say it correctly. Yeah, it did not go well. Did not pan out at all. I'm excited. The comments, if you guys caught it, and we might have talked about this last week. I'm pretty sure we did. O'Brien came out and made scathing comments about when Tommy left. So very clear that Tommy and he were never on the same page. Because he talked about, obviously he told Tommy he was getting benched. Tommy immediately leaves the team. Then Tommy's in the portal. Who knows where he's going to go? I wish him well. But he said BC 99% of BC kids are tough and smart. He goes, he was an outlier. Oh yeah, you didn't see that? Yeah,
I did not see that.
Yeah,
No,
Billy lit him on
not.
fire. So I'm super excited for him to have his first full year of shopping, because he got pulled in and hired mid to late February. So this is going to be exciting to see O'Brien have a full year to cook. Which
you see the comments, Timmy?
What happened? I do not.
Kaylee said if only we had a DJ for Pi Day.
Oh my God. Yep. We were supposed to. So the kid, I love that she said that. The kid that we had, the kid that does our post-holiday party for the company, does a really good job. He comes over and talks to Kaylee and I, and we feed him full of songs and all this kind of stuff. He does a great job. And then I said to Kales, we should get him to come to Pi Day. Not loud and raging, because Scotty's been here. It's pretty chill. But I'm like, could you do a setup where you just had wireless speakers throughout the building and played it at a reasonable volume so it was going, but just the visual effect of you guys hitting the top of the stairs in our lobby by the coffee bar and there's a DJ standing there would be really funny, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how it got lost in the matrix, because he quoted us a pretty good number. We were going to pay him like maybe $100 an hour. So for $300 just to physically have a DJ in the building would be funny, if nothing else. And I think Dad sort of stepped on it. I think Nate was like, meh. So I think we're just probably not going to check with Dad. We're going to make sure it happens next year, because I think it's dope. It'd be great. I'll pay him extra to not play Van Morrison.
All you have to do is just reach out to Ricky.
But
Ricky would do it for free. He'd do it for free. Ricky. Well, Ricky would do it for free. He'd be right up there.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think of that. Christmas time in the Shire.
Oh, he'd be
That'd be great.
significant amount of
tell him not to
Beatles and
shave his
stuff,
toes.
but
He's got to come in
it'd be amazing.
barefoot. I want the feet out. I want the Shire feet out.
Really don't. You really
Yeah, I know we don't. All right, so we don't have Patriots predictions. What I do want to talk to you about, Bubba got home, and he can't help himself with the DraftKings stuff. So my new thing is to go in and find the most ridiculous. The only category that I'll really like, I'm not doing money lines and all this stuff. I won't do a lot of parlays, although I did a 3-leg parlay and Aiden's like, Dad, why would you do that? Because Portnoy's got his parlay that he throws on DraftKings. And he's like, I'm never going to do a promoted parlay from DraftKings with Portnoy's face on it. He loves Portnoy, but he goes, that's a setup. Well, the one that I picked worked and I hit on it. But what I've been doing, I go in and I find the long shots for anytime touchdown. So I put $9 on Dalton Schultz for an anytime touchdown and he hit, and I got $48.
That's awesome.
So that's all I do. I think I lay and I'm only dropping I do one ridiculous one for like whatever, because you throw the money out. You're like, where can I get it to? I'll get it up to like $48. For the most part, I had 3 more hit that were anytime touchdowns, all laying like $1 and scoring like $12, $15 on each. Yeah. So I started the day with, I always start the day with $22. That's all I get to spend. And I cleared $78
Nice.
plus.
Nice.
So I was almost $100 at the end of the day. I pulled in $78 on just stupid long shots. Because Janina's like, what are you doing? I'm like, hon, like, I'm not spending more than $22. Like and Rubber Shoes knows this, and I think Scotty might have met him at some point. Uncle Kevin, Coach K.
Oh yeah.
Coach K goes hard. Coach K.
Oh really?
Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. We've Rubber Shoes and I've got some
For
guys
years.
we've got some guys in the neighborhood, and they're just like, oh yeah, Patriots Monday night, and they're dropping, inordinate amounts of money on football. I can't do it.
Old school bookies.
Yeah, I can't do it. I don't gamble well. I'm certainly not your guy Mohegan that's like going deep. I know you guys love to do that. Like I'll go and drop like, a couple of chips on bet on black or bet on 22 is black. Yeah, that worked out perfectly. Like I'll do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm not. Chad, our dear friend Chad from radio is shoving $100 bills in the wall at Mohegan.
Yeah,
like
no,
Pez.
I lose maybe $20 to $30 if I go to a casino.
Okay, I got you.
That's it.
Are you doing DraftKings at all, Scotty, over the weekend? Do you touch any of that?
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. Who's way worse though is the wife. The wife is like, she gets right in.
I love that Amy gets belligerent. She's marching around Mohegan with a cocktail and just.
Well, she hits when. So we'll have the dog. The dog will get groomed. She's upstairs. I don't think she can hear me. The dog will get groomed at the little Petco place right next to the casino in Dover, and it takes about an hour. So she'll get the dog groomed, and she'll over there for a little bit. And dude, she won. What did she win? Like $2,300 or $1,800 or something like that at the Dover Casino on like a slot machine
on a Tuesday.
On just like a random day or whatever. And it's hilarious. She does have incredible luck with slots for sure.
Interesting.
And she loves DraftKings. She was pissed last night. She put and it's not. We don't do big bets. We're like $5 here, $10 here.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? We're not doing any of that stuff. She was pissed last night though because she had a bet. She loves like these random ones with the Bruins. Last night they had to score a goal in the second period, and they had to win the game. I think. And they didn't score.
That's the only period there was no goals.
Oh my God.
They had a goal taken away from them in the period, and she's like, fuck. She was so bad. She's like, are you kidding me? Oh, it was spectacular. She was really good at baseball though. She had like a really good winning streak for baseball. She's got a good knack for that. She does a little research and stuff too. So she gets right in. Doesn't do great for football. She's not great at football. But with DraftKings, I'm never gonna. I never lay anything on the Patriots. Like I won't even have Patriots on my fantasy team. Like that's my rule. I think it would be sacrilege to ever bet on Boston College. Like I won't do that. That's another thing that Coach K drives me crazy. Kevin, I'll be sitting there in our seats. It's like 11:48, and he'll text me and be like, just put 500 on BC. Let's go. And that is the death note. Like that, right? Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Like, I want to throw my phone off. Why would you text that to me? Like I said to Janina, we can go now. Coach K just told me he put $500 on this game. What? Like, do it and then don't tell me. Right. Because I'm a firm believer that me, as soon as I heard that, it changed everything. Right. Right. I mean, but I haven't got into like, hey, it's the Celtics. I'm going to do a 4-leg parlay that Pritchard's going to shave off his left eyebrow at halftime. Like I'm not, it's got to be for me right now. I'm a light user. I'm going to go in and do a few dollar bets on, and that Dalton Schultz $9 outlier. But that was my big win. Cause Aiden was like Dalton Schultz and then he scored. And Aiden was home for chicken giving. He's like, Dad. I'm like, I know. And Jenny's like, what? I just got $48.32. She's like, I have no idea what's happening. I don't think I want to know what's happening. I'm like, you don't. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Right there, that is great. That is not good. That is great.
Yeah.
That is
so
great.
Tyler does pretty well. He hit one the Monday night game. He had Broncos to win.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston
touchdown, by the way.
over 250, and then Bo Nix over 225 yards, and he hit it.
What did he put on it?
He doesn't. He's like us. He's
$2 or $3
like,
bucks. Yeah.
maybe $5 tops. Yeah.
I'll do $5. I'll do 5 or 10.
You hit that 3-leg parlay. You're like, if I put $1,000 down, it would have been,
Well, he had one last night.
Like I've done some of the crazier bets of like a 4-leg parlay that for $5 you with the profit boost or whatever.
Oh,
it comes out to like $1,100, right? Like those long shots, and I've almost hit like 3 or 4 of them. I've been off by like one player or something like that.
Yeah,
but those are fun just because whatever. It's $5, and you never know. So it's stuff like that.
Yeah, I had a 3-leg with a 3-leg with Jaden Daniels, and Aiden's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "He's bound to have a good game." And all I needed was his touchdown category. He needed one more passing touchdown. He got the 2 rushing touchdowns, and he needed one more passing touchdown. And I think on that, because it was so ridiculous, I put 19 on it. It would have been $2,109. And I missed it by 1 passing touchdown. He got the 250 plus in the air, and like he had to like, I don't know, pierce his left nipple at halftime. I don't know what it was all ridiculous, but I'm like, yeah, because that's what you go in and you're like, I'll put $9 on it. Wait a minute. Right. Oh shit. Let me put 19 on $2,000. Yeah, $19 is fine. Right. Nobody needs to know about this. And if I hit, I assure you, nobody would have known about it.
I
would not be reporting to the government or my wife if I hit $2,000.
I'm on the biggest losing streak I've had so far, though. That's for sure. Like I'm on a massive losing streak right now.
Oh yeah, my phone's riddled with lost, but that's all.
Oh yeah. It's bad. I'm like, it's not good to the point where like I'll say like, oh, I put a bet on this, and Amy would be like, I'm going to avoid that. So it's just like, okay,
Yep. Well, that's just it. My cap is like I'm not on a Sunday. It's dollars here, dollars there, and then this past Sunday, my biggest one was the $9 that turned into a 48. It was a 41 plus win for me, so I'll take it. Yeah. Covered all the damages from everything else. All right, we'll be back at it next week. I'm on the road, boys, so it's you ladies will be driving the show. Somebody is. I don't know. What's happening?
I'm available Monday. That's it.
Monday.
And that's only because something.
Scotty just winced hard.
So my whole week was booked, but. Oh. I was supposed to go to midget wrestling on Monday.
Little people. No,
little people. They call it midget wrestling. The
also
people
that promote
people
McNuggets.
The people that promote it, they promote it as midget wrestling. So
I don't like
calling it what they call it.
At 5'9", I'm offended.
So people McNuggets. The guy waited too long to buy tickets to it, and they were sold out. So,
where can I ask you? And I'm only doing this just because if you live in the Merrimack Valley, you'll get this. So, Rubber Shoes and I are sort of. We'll be back in a second, Scotty. Are you going to be at the Pulaski Club in Lowell? Like, where is this happening?
Oh, it's at the Chelmsford Elks.
And what's so funny is you know if you've ever been in like a Moose Lodge or an Elks, the roof is only about 9.5 feet.
That's what I mean. They don't need a big venue.
They don't need, because they're off the top turnbuckle. It doesn't really matter anyway. Yeah. But is Maddie DeVoe going with you?
No, I can't. I'm not.
You can't go. It was supposed to go. It's happening Monday. He said.
Yeah.
Well, I got a text. This is a few months back, and like Rubber Shoes and Maddie are like. They were going to like grappling together, which makes perfect sense because they've both been into it since forever. And Maddie DeVoe loves the we call it rafter wrestling. Like when they're clearly in a building that's like really like the ring barely fits. Yeah. Like top turnbuckle, you can't really stand up or you hit your head on the roof. And Maddie DeVoe loves it. So it's Little Shoes, Rubber Shoes, Maddie and his son Colin going off to wrestling events, and I can only imagine. And Maddie's Maddie's a brick wall. Like you're very happy he's on. Like you two and Little Shoes. Like, I love hanging out with them because I could just walk through the building and like tell everybody to fuck off. And I'm like, yeah, I dare you to attack me. I got all my friends with me. Like, but yeah, Matty's a big guy. Matty's a big guy. He's a force to be reckoned with. Oh my God, you were going to go to midget wrestling.
Yeah.
And they prefer to call it midget wrestling. All right, as long as we're not
how
going to get
that
canceled.
That is how it's booked.
I don't know if I'd call that good. Definitely wouldn't call it great.
Good.
Yeah.
Anyway, for Rubber Shoes and Scotty and myself and our dear friends Corey and Adam, who are in hair and makeup, we'll be back at it next week. We appreciate you watching. We thank Joe and Leslie and our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks. If you could subscribe and comment and share and like, that would be helpful too. And we'll see you on the other side. Thanks, boys.
Have a good night.